As Elise and Clara settle into the long, meticulous process of curating the exhibition, the research takes on an intensity that surprises them both. Days stretch into nights, the museum's quiet halls emptying while the two women remain engrossed in stacks of fragile papers, yellowed sketches, and obscure letters. Each document, carefully examined under soft lamplight, brings them closer to understanding the true history of the enigmatic painting they are tasked with unveiling. The air between them, once taut with unresolved tension, begins to shift. Their shared passion for art, so long overshadowed by past disagreements, resurfaces, reminding Elise of why she had admired Clara in the first place. It is during one particularly long evening that their breakthrough occurs. Hidden within the wooden frame of the central painting is a delicate signature, almost invisible to the untrained eye, indicating that the artist is a woman whose contributions to art history had been largely erased. The realization hits them simultaneously. The discovery could reshape the way scholars view an entire period of art. The painting is no longer just a masterpiece, it is a key to forgotten history. Elise's pulse quickens as she carefully documents the find, while Clara, usually composed, allows a rare glimmer of excitement to cross her face. The weight of the discovery is immediate. The museum has placed high expectations on the exhibition, anticipating acclaim and financial gain. Yet the implications of revealing the true artist are far-reaching. Legal claims could emerge from the painting's current owner, long accustomed to its misattribution. Media attention would be intense, and the revelation might challenge long-held assumptions about the era. Elise feels the familiar tug of responsibility. The choice between truth and convenience, between integrity and safety. Amid this professional tension, the personal dynamic between Elise and Clara deepens. Working side by side, they find themselves laughing over small frustrations, debating interpretations, and sharing insights that had lain dormant for years. Each discovery they make strengthens not only their professional collaboration, but also the fragile trust that is rebuilding between them. The old animosity softens, replaced by a cautious but genuine respect. Elise notices nuances in Clara she had not seen before. The quiet patience, the subtle humor, and the unwavering dedication to preserving history. In turn, Clara seems to recognize the courage and intelligence that Elise had demonstrated long ago, qualities that had initially earned her mentor's admiration. As the night draws on, they step back to view the painting in its entirety, now contextualized by the evidence they have uncovered. The revelation of the woman artist beneath the canvas is more than a scholarly victory. It is a symbolic triumph for both women. Elise feels a surge of pride and purpose, aware that this moment connects her past, present, and future. Clara meets her gaze, and in that quiet exchange, there is an unspoken acknowledgement. They are not only partners in scholarship, but, perhaps in something deeper, a shared commitment to truth, history, and the redemption of a story long hidden. By the end of the evening, the painting no longer seems just a piece of art. It carries with it the weight of suppressed voices, the beauty of rediscovered talent, and the promise of renewed collaboration between two women who have finally learned that some secrets are worth uncovering, no matter the cost. With the painting's true origin finally uncovered, Elise Hartman faces the most challenging decision of her career. The museum board is eager to capitalize on the discovery, but their priorities are clear. Public acclaim, ticket sales, and prestige take precedence over historical accuracy. Some influential members suggest presenting the painting as the work of a famous male artist, whose name would guarantee media attention and high attendance for the upcoming exhibition. The thought of compromising the integrity of the discovery sends a shiver through Elise, who has built her career on meticulous research and a commitment to truth. Clara, meanwhile, is uncharacteristically passionate and insistent. She reminds Elise that the real artist, a woman whose contributions had been erased by history, is owed recognition. It is more than a matter of professional ethics. It is about justice, about restoring a voice long silenced. As they sit together in the quiet research room, surrounded by stacks of archival materials and dim lamplight, Clara's words resonate deeply. Elise reflects on the countless hours they spent uncovering the evidence, the painstaking work of tracing letters, sketches, and subtle artistic markers that reveal the painting's true creator. To misattribute it now would be a betrayal not only of history, but of their shared labor and passion. The pressure mounts as the board sets a strict deadline. Elise feels the familiar tug of fear of controversy, of legal challenges, and of personal risk. Publishing the truth might damage her standing in the museum and the broader art community, whose tastes often lean toward marketable names rather than historical accuracy. Yet, suppressing it would violate everything she stands for as a historian. Her mind races through past experiences, the exhilaration of discovery, the betrayal she once felt from Clara, and the pride she feels in the evidence they have painstakingly assembled. During a moment of reflection, Elise recalls her own journey in the world of art. She remembers the mentors and peers who supported integrity over convenience, the young scholars who looked up to her, and the responsibility she carries as someone with a voice in the field. The decision is no longer simply about the painting, it is about who she is, the values she upholds, and the legacy she wishes to leave. Finally, Elise reaches a quiet resolve. She drafts the announcement for the exhibition, ensuring the true artist is credited and includes a detailed account of the research and historical context that supports this revelation. She is aware of the potential fallout, but also feels an immense sense of relief. Clara, sitting beside her, offers a warm, approving smile. In that moment, the tension of the past dissolves into a shared victory. They have chosen integrity over convenience, truth over safety, and justice over self-interest. The choice strengthens their bond in an unexpected way. Though their friendship is still tentative, there is a renewed sense of mutual respect and trust. Elise understands that professional courage often demands personal sacrifice, and the satisfaction of honoring the rightful artist outweighs any temporary discomfort. The painting now symbolizes not only a rediscovered talent, but also the triumph of moral clarity, the rekindling of collaboration, and the transformative power of making the right choice in the face of pressure. In choosing truth, Elise finds herself fully aligned with the woman she has become, and with the mentor she once lost, but may now reclaim in a new, deeper form. The day of the exhibition opening arrives, bringing with it a mixture of anticipation, tension, and quiet triumph. Elise Hartman stands before the centerpiece of the gallery, the painting she and Clara have spent months researching and restoring. It is illuminated under soft, deliberate lighting, every brush stroke and subtle signature visible for the first time to the public. The museum halls are abuzz with scholars, journalists, and art enthusiasts, their murmurs filling the space with a sense of eager curiosity. Yet amid the crowd, Elise feels a calm she has not known in years, a profound satisfaction that she has honored both history and her own integrity. As the visitors circulate, examining the works and reading the accompanying research notes, Elise watches their reactions closely. Many pause in awe before the painting, some taking careful notes, others photographing the details. She overhears snippets of conversation, admiration for the rediscovered artist, astonishment at the story of erasure and recovery, and respect for the meticulous scholarship that brought the truth to light. Every comment affirms the difficult choice she made. The risk of controversy has been outweighed by the power of honesty and historical justice. Clara approaches, her expression a mixture of pride and quiet emotion. The air between them is warmer now, stripped of the old bitterness and tension. They share a small, knowing smile, an acknowledgement of their journey together, from mentor and protege to estranged colleagues to partners in discovery and vindication. It is not a full reconciliation. The past cannot be erased, yet there is healing, a recognition that their shared commitment to art and truth has forged a bridge over years of silence. For Elise, this moment represents a rare balance. Professional achievement coupled with personal closure. As the evening progresses, Elise finds herself speaking with visitors and colleagues, explaining the significance of the artist and the painstaking process of authentication. She notices young historians listening intently, inspired by the courage it took to stand by the evidence despite institutional pressure. For the first time in a long while, Elise feels her work has a broader purpose beyond career accolades. It is a contribution to cultural memory and historical justice. Later, in a quieter moment, Elise steps back from the crowd to gaze at the painting. The light catches the red satin of her blouse, vibrant against the soft gray background of the gallery wall. It is a visual echo of her inner transformation, bold, confident, and resolute. She reflects on the journey that brought her here, the difficult mornings filled with uncertainty, the echoes of past betrayals, and the countless hours of meticulous research. All of it has culminated in this single luminous moment. Elise Hartman's story begins in the gentle stillness of early dawn, a time she has always cherished. Her apartment, perched high above the narrow, cobbled streets of a historic European city, feels like a quiet gallery in itself. The first light of day filters through tall windows, softening the angles of antique furniture and casting a muted glow on the framed art that lines her walls. This is a space filled with years of collected beauty, old sketches, faded photographs, and delicate ceramics, all testaments to her lifelong devotion to art and history. Yet beneath the tranquil scene, a subtle tension hums. Elise, now 52, moves with the grace of someone accustomed to solitude. Her blonde hair, gently wavy, brushes her shoulders as she ties it back to begin her morning routine. She chooses a red satin blouse almost without thinking, though the color catches her eye in the mirror. It is bold, warm, and unexpectedly vibrant against the gray morning light, a quiet rebellion against the more subdued tones she usually favors. The choice suggests something stirring inside her, a desire for renewal or perhaps an unconscious readiness for change. As she pours coffee and opens her mail, a letter stands out. Thick paper, an embossed museum seal, and her name written in an elegant hand. The letter is from the European Museum of Fine Arts, a prestigious institution she has admired since her student days. Its director invites her to curate a landmark exhibition of rare, newly discovered works, an honor few art historians ever receive. The exhibition could cement her reputation as a scholar and curator, a culmination of decades of research and passion, but the excitement dims when she reaches the final paragraph. The museum has appointed a co-curator, Clara Voss, Elise's former mentor and once closest friend. Their relationship ended years ago in bitterness after a professional dispute over a stolen painting. Elise remembers the night they parted. Accusations flung in anger, doors closing with finality, and years of silence that followed. The thought of standing beside Clara again, working side by side as though nothing happened, sends a tremor of unease through her. Elise sets the letter down and gazes out the window. The city below is waking. Street lamps flicker off and distant church bells mark the hour. She feels the weight of the decision pressing in, a collision of past and present. Accepting the invitation means confronting old wounds, reopening memories she has carefully kept buried. Declining means letting the opportunity of a lifetime slip away. Perhaps confirming a quiet fear that her most important professional moments are behind her. The red satin of her blouse catches a shaft of sunlight, bright against the gray morning, a vivid reminder that life rarely offers such chances twice. Elise stands in the hush of her apartment, coffee cooling on the table, the letter lying like a challenge before her. The silent morning has become a turning point, though she has yet to speak a word. Her choice will not only define her career, but also force her to reckon with the unresolved emotions of a friendship lost and the woman she has become. The invitation from the European Museum of Fine Arts lingers in Elise Hartman's mind long after the morning has passed. By evening, the crisp letter is still on her desk, its embossed seal catching the lamplight. Accepting the opportunity means more than simply curating an exhibition. It means facing Clara Voss, the mentor who once shaped Elise's career and then became the source of her deepest professional wound. As Elise prepares a simple dinner, memories begin to surface with a clarity that surprises her. Years earlier, she had been a young art historian brimming with ambition and curiosity. Clara, already an established curator, had taken her under her wing, Together they traveled through forgotten European towns, exploring dusty archives and tracking lost works of art. Elise recalls late nights spent in candlelit libraries, their shared laughter echoing between towering shelves of leather-bound volumes. Clara taught her not only the intricacies of provenance research, but also the art of looking, seeing the hidden brushstrokes and subtle codes artists left behind. But their partnership fractured over a single painting, a luminous portrait believed to have been stolen during wartime. Elise uncovered evidence that the current owner's claim was illegitimate. Clara, under pressure from wealthy patrons and museum politics, argued for discretion, fearing the legal entanglements that might follow. Elise insisted on transparency. Their arguments grew heated, professional disagreements turning personal. Words were exchanged that neither could take back, and their final conversation ended with Clara walking away, leaving Elise with a hollow sense of betrayal. Now, the museum's letter reopens that old wound. Elise finds herself pacing her apartment, weighing the cost of reopening the past. Her reputation has grown in the years since, but the opportunity to co-curate such a prestigious exhibition could define the next chapter of her career. It would also demand collaboration with Clara, long hours of shared decisions, discussions, and inevitable memories of the bond they once had. Throughout the evening, Elise's internal debate intensifies. She remembers not only the conflict, but also the warmth of Clara's mentorship, the way Clara celebrated her first published article, the subtle encouragement she offered when Elise doubted her abilities. Was their friendship entirely lost or merely buried beneath pride and hurt? The letter feels heavier each time Elise picks it up. She wonders whether Clara feels the same unease, or if time has softened her view of their past. Accepting the offer could be an act of professional courage and perhaps personal healing. Declining it would be easier, a clean refusal that keeps old pain safely sealed away. As night settles over the city, Elise stands at her window, watching the glow of street lamps shimmer on the cobblestones below. The memories are no longer faint. They are vivid, almost alive, pulling her backward, even as the promise of the exhibition draws her forward. She senses that this decision is not just about art or career advancement. It is about confronting the person she once was, the friendship she lost, and the integrity that guided her choices then, and must guide her again now. Several weeks later, Elise Hartman steps through the grand stone archway of the European Museum of Fine Arts, her heart beating faster than she cares to admit. Accepting the curatorship had seemed logical on paper, an extraordinary professional opportunity, but the reality of seeing Clara Voss again makes her palms damp despite the crisp winter air. The museum, with its cavernous halls and echoing marble floors, smells faintly of varnish and old books, a familiar scent that stirs a mixture of comfort and apprehension. The morning sunlight spills through the glass dome overhead, illuminating the main atrium where priceless sculptures stand like silent witnesses. Elise arrives early, hoping for a few quiet moments to collect herself. She takes in the space with an art historian's practiced eye, yet she feels strangely exposed, as if the building itself remembers the history she shares with Clara. When Clara finally enters, the sound of her footsteps rings across the marble. Elise turns and takes in the woman she has not seen in more than a decade. Clara's hair, once a deep chestnut, is now streaked with elegant silver. She carries herself with the same commanding grace Elise remembers, but there is a softness in her eyes, a gentleness that surprises her. For a long breath, neither speaks. Then Clara offers a polite, measured greeting, her voice warm but reserved. Their first moments are careful, almost formal, like two diplomats negotiating an unspoken truce. They exchange pleasantries, travel delays, the winter weather, the honor of the exhibition. Beneath the surface, Elise senses the weight of all that remains unsaid, the accusations, the night of their falling out, the years of silence. Yet there is no hostility, only a faint tension, like a violin string drawn tight. Soon they are led by the museum director into a private research room, its tall windows draped with heavy curtains. Stacks of archival boxes line the tables, filled with sketches, letters, and provenance documents related to the mysterious painting they must authenticate. Elise feels a familiar thrill as she lifts the lid of the first box. The scent of old paper, the delicate rustle of parchment, the faint traces of history, they awaken the part of her that lives for discovery. Working side by side is awkward at first. They move around each other with deliberate politeness, careful not to brush hands. But as the hours pass, a rhythm emerges. Clara still has the quick, incisive mind that once inspired Elise. She catches details in the faded handwriting that Elise nearly overlooks. Elise contributes her own sharp insights, pointing out subtle stylistic cues in the sketches. Slowly, the professional partnership that once defined their friendship begins to reassert itself, like an old melody remembered after years of silence. When the day ends, they pause by a tall window overlooking the snowy courtyard. The setting sun bathes the room in amber light. Clara offers a small, genuine smile, not quite an apology, but a quiet acknowledgement of shared history. Elise feels a flicker of something she thought long lost, the fragile beginning of trust, and the possibility that their story, long paused, may not yet be finished. As the night winds down and the gallery empties, Elise and Clara remain for a final glance at the painting, side by side, yet content in their own space. There is an unspoken understanding that their story, like the painting, is layered with complexities, mistakes, and triumphs. Elise feels a profound sense of renewal, as if the exhibition has not only restored the forgotten artist to history, but has also restored a part of herself. The dawn of this new chapter shines gently on her. A life guided by integrity, collaboration, and the courage to honor truth above all else.